MC Jessy. How are you?
I'm good, Eric. How are you doing?
Very well.
Good to see you, Janet.
Good to see you,
It's
Jessy.
been a minute.
It's been a while.
Yeah, but I see you guys on TV.
Okay.
Yeah.
We see you on socials.
We see
you see me on social media.
very actively on socials, and we'll get into it. I saw you on another continent, then we saw you in status. We're like, hey, Jessy, it's called range. I'm a summer, I have range.
We welcome you every day where you watch the show.
Thank you so much.
It always begins with Jano giving the guests the day's quote.
Yes, today's quote is by Steve Allen, also somebody who was a broadcaster, a comedian, a radio presenter, and he once said, radio is the theater of the mind. You agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
Because when you listen to radio, as a listener, you're listening to people you've never seen. Yeah. Okay, unlike nowadays, because of social media, you're able to see the radio presenters. But before, you just used to imagine how they used to look like. And then they create scenarios in your mind. And then you put that scene in your mind, kivyako too. Like now, if somebody, for example, if it's Nation FM and somebody's talking about, my mother. So you can't see the person, but their mother, you create your own version of their mother in your mind.
Yeah.
So you create your own theater in your mind about the person talking.
Proper theater of the mind.
Completely.
I know we'll get into, arts and politics and everything that you're doing now, but reflect with us around your own radio journey very briefly. How long were you in radio, and what has it done to allow you to even do what you're able to today in life?
Well, thank you, Janet. For me, I was on Hot 96. Hot 96, that's the other side, ni Madui Wenu. Our Royal Media Services. I was on Hot Breakfast. I used to host a morning show with a lady called Monique Angeline. So when I was called to go on radio, I was still doing Churchill Raw and Churchill Show on NTV. So they called me to go and do radio there. And I think that time that station wasn't doing so well. So when they called me, I felt honored that I'm called to uplift a station that wasn't doing so well. So when we went there, of course, ikashika, ikaanza kupanda, ikasonga, and then I left. And I enjoyed my time on radio. I used to love going on radio. I still miss radio, by the way. I miss radio a lot because radio is where you do all what you want. And you can imagine with today's generation, what you can say on radio. And nowadays you do radio and you can also be seen doing radio. So I enjoyed myself on radio. We did breakfast. I used to love waking up at 5 a.m. And then, do you know why I resigned? I resigned when I met. Nilikuwa naingia 5 a.m. in the morning. Nini Eric unacheka?
It's like kuna story anajua.
Sijui his story.
The comedian is coming. Kama unajua his story. So imagine what I did there. I used to wake up in the morning at 5. I never used to live far from Raw Media Services. So within 10 minutes, nilikuwa nishafika job. So nafika 5 by 5:20 hapo, 5:30, I'm in the studio. I'm reading the newspaper. I'm checking what is in the news. Alafu naanza show 6. Namaliza 10. So one day I left at 9:30 thereabout on a Friday. Tulikuwa tunatoroka kazi. So it's radio, unaweza hepa. So when I was leaving, I met my boss with a new Range Rover. KBX 499. Sitasema hiyo ingine. Washira Waruru. Ameingia na brand new Range. And then he used to report at 10 a.m. every day. Alikuwa na BMW X6. Now ameuza. Now he has a new Range. He shows up at 10. And then it's Friday. He might leave even at 1. He won't come back. I'm like, nikamsimamisha kwa gate. And he's my boss. Nikambe, excuse me, sir. You just got a new car. And you report at 10. Unatoka 3. And he's like, Jessy, what's wrong with you? This is not comedy. Kambia pana, where are you getting that money from? And I'm the boss here. Nikambe, it's okay, but mimi naingia 5. Natoka 10. Kichwa imechoka. And then I go to sleep. Na wewe unanunua Range Rover na sina. Nikamwambia, you know what? You'll have to tell me how to get a Range Rover. So he invited me to Chaka Ranch. I think we were with you that time. Yeah, tulikuwa na jana. Sitasema mingi. That's kitambo. So we went to Chaka Ranch tukaenda akanionyesha kwake and all that it was starting. Akaniambia, this is why I do my business. Akaniambia, so you are not just a boss, you have your own business. Akaniambia, yes. Akaniambia, I'm going to start a business. So I decided to become a businessman inside the media industry. So even when we were doing Churchill Show and all that, I opened a company that used to sell Churchill Show. Nikaanza biashara, then I resigned.
Okay.
Nikaenda nikamwambia, now, I told you within 3 months I'll resign.
This is it.
Radio. So I left radio at the peak of, success of 196. Nikaenda kufanya biashara. Ndio ninunue Range Rover.
Range Rover. Sasa kuna ngapi?
Range Rover?
Yeah.
Moja lakini I think ni ya pili from the first one.
First one.
I had a KCG 944R. Don't worry, I'm a Luo by living. But many Meru. So yeah, but I fortunately was able to focus and actually make some little money in
and move into that.
And I've never gone back.
And you're basically exercising your creativity, but monetizing your creativity.
Yes.
That's it, right?
Yes.
Because you saw you've got talent. Talent landed you on these platforms, on Churchill, on radio, and now also talent took you into business.
Yes. So even my business was around entertainment and content. So when we were doing Churchill Show here, we came and spoke to the boss, NTV, and we requested to co-sell the show. So personally, I was in charge of outreach, going outside the Nairobi, the counties, or meet the politicians, the MPs, the governors, to ask them for money for Churchill Show. I brought Philips International. I brought a lot of people on Churchill Show. And you see, they used to pay to my company, and then I pay Churchill. So sikuwa nangoja nipe mshahara. So that is where now it started. But ilianza hapo kwa
Uliona
Range Rover ya Washira Waroro.
Ilianza na kuhepa job.
9:30.
Supposed to leave work after 10 a.m.
Right.
Yes.
And here you are leaving work at 9:30.
Yes.
And then you manage to confuse their boss that he doesn't notice you are actually leaving work before time by engaging him on an important conversation.
Yeah, I didn't want to be fired.
Yeah. So you negotiated. It's smart.
Yeah, I negotiated.
Yeah.
So I started the business.
It's been cunning. It's completely been cunning. No wonder you're now in politics.
Yes. Which I know we're skipping, and we'll go back and forth throughout this conversation. But when we were speaking earlier at the beginning of this program today with Eric and Mariam, some critics say that when people who have a background in comedy enter politics, they don't have the social issues depth, or they don't have depth. They don't bring depth to politics. They either water it down or don't quite understand. How do you respond to that? And maybe even let's go back briefly, tell us why politics, and then defend yourself against the critics who are like comedians and politics should just never mix.
Well, people will always be there to give opinions, all right? And I ride with a quote in my life that nothing can stop me from whatever I've imagined to do. Hata Biblia inasema, whatever your mind has imagined to do, nothing can stop you from doing it. So people actually, and I've seen not only comedians, but artists, some artists, they've gone to politics and they actually didn't perform so well. And some of them wametoka, wengine bado wako. There are some that are doing quite well. KJ, I think comedians are really good at it. KJ is doing so well in Dagoretti, and in parliament unaonanga akiongea. Of course ingine anaongeanga vitu zingine.
In fact, Mariam isn't here. She would have been like, wait.
Doing so well. There are some that he talks on, even for me, I don't agree with.
Yeah, around Maandamano especially.
Yeah, and especially around Maandamano. No. I think me siku agree na yeye. I'll say that outrightly.
Okay.
But comedians being in politics, and for myself, sijaingia. Judge me when I get there, because I believe each person is an individual. Umeenda pale, maybe you have your own interest. Maybe you use comedy to get there, but when you got there, you are not intending to do anything. Maybe it was self-gratification. Maybe you had said, by the time I'm 40, I want to be a member of parliament. By the time I'm 50, I want to have bought houses in Karen. So you think politics is a way to do it. But for me, mine actually is driven with the desire to try and change the creative industry. I believe I came into the entertainment industry, when it was so analog, and then we moved to digital. In fact, that time the Communication Authority of Kenya paid us to move the conversations of tumetoka analog to that digital. When the media houses didn't want to go, but we were pushing for it because we also saw the opportunity. What we're having now, we saw it before even other people were saying it, because we knew we would make money on digital. And the media houses wanted to remain analog because the cake, advertising, was going to be shared with us directly, because we have now the numbers. When Instagram came, they approached us when we were doing the show at Carnival. They were like, these are the most popular guys in the country, so we're going to ask you to push for us that app. Facebook, the same thing. So we decided to push digital. We knew digital before it actually happened. So CAK used us to move from analog to digital that time with the late, I think, Wangusi. So we were there, we saw it. So for me, I've seen the transformation of the creative sector from analog to digital. I've been there for quite a while now, and I know the kind of money that people are making out there. I've traveled to different countries, and mostly when I go there, I study about the creative industry in that particular country, and people are making a kill. Can you imagine in Kenya, we are paid only like 150,000 shillings for 1 million views? And it will depend with your audience.
Yeah.
If I'm there, if my channel gets 1 million, it'll depend. Hawa ni kina nani watch.
The quality of the audience.
Quality of the audience. If it's university students, of course, the money will be less, because products that are supposed to be advertised for these young people are not as many as the ones that are going to be advertised to people like Eric and you. Nyinyi mnataka hizo property ndio zina advertise hapo. Big companies, banks want you. So mostly they'll advertise on my page. And imagine my page being like one of the best, nitapewa 150,000 per 1 million. Whereas in America, 1 million is equals to 800,000. So now you can imagine mtu mwenye akona 10 million views times 800,000. That's 8M per month. Sisi hapa Kenya. So we need to change some of these policies. And I realize I cannot change them when I'm outside. So let me try and push. That's why you see me sometimes when I was in state, I was pushing for it. Tulikuwa hapo na president. I get an opportunity to talk to the president. So what do I tell him? I tell him, my brother. Oh, sorry. Meet a president to my brother. Namwambia my friend.
My brother. It's okay.
My friend.
My friend.
Nikamwambia, Your Excellency, tuko na shida hapa kwa creative sector. Okay? These are my proposals. These are the things I always think about. We can streamline the creative industry. In Tanzania, they have a ministry. Inaitwa Wizara ya Sanaa. If you go to Nigeria, their policies about payment for creative sector is different from Kenya. Sisi yetu iko tu azi. It's like creative industry yetu ni like prostitute. Anybody anakuja anaingia.
Wacha niulize lakini
no, the industry, not people.
I'm trying to not even look at Jano because I can see her nostrils flaring. Don't, Jano, just hold it.
Sawa. Well, tutaongea nyuma ya tent.
Straight.
Yes.
I see, and you're making a lot of sense in what you're saying, in the advocacy for the creative sector, right? And doing that already, that's playing politics, because you're using the platforms that you have, the influence that you have access to the president, you have access to the cabinet secretaries, to politicians, to members of parliament to do that. Must you be inside parliament to move it? Because you're already doing that. Even if you go to parliament, you'll have to lobby the other 348 members to agree with you, to vote with you. But you can lobby them from outside.
I agree with you. I don't need to be a member of parliament to push it. I don't need to. Okay? I don't need to. But now, I have to.
Why?
Because if you call the head of State House Projects and Digital Economy, Dennis Itumbi, if you invite him here, he will tell you that there's a bill in parliament about my proposals. This is the 4th year that bill has been sitting in parliament. Okay? It has been discussed. There's a bill, there's a creative economy bill. That is the answer that always comes. And I know about it. I know about the bill. And I know for sure, if I go around, because we have the Digital Content Creators Association of Kenya. I'm one of the founders. So we know very well, if I ask members of the Digital Content Creators Association of Kenya about that bill in parliament, some of them have no idea. So, did they participate in creating the bill, in drafting the bill? You get what I mean? Maybe there are some that participated, but are they part of the core members of the creative economy? That is one. Number two, why is it still sitting in parliament? It should have moved. We've seen other bills being signed into law. We've seen other things that have gone into parliament and they've been discussed. Mbio, within no time, zinasainiwa, zinakuwa law. Why is this one still sitting there? Ama tunangoja tuimbie happy birthday. You get? Is it that there's a maturity that it needs to get to? Is it that it hasn't gone through the whole process? Who is behind it? Who is pushing it to make sure we get a success of it? So I'm not seeing anybody concerned about the creative economy bill that is in parliament. It's always in parliament. It's being discussed. We are not seeing it. So you can imagine, Eric, I'm passionate about the creative industry. For sure I am. What if I was in parliament?
I don't know.
Would it be sitting there?
I don't know.
No, it wouldn't.
Possibly so.
No.
Because I want to ask you, so why has it not been prioritized by the House Business Committee? Because that's where it is. It's House Business Committee prioritizing it.
Yes.
So you already know the office where it begins. You think that just by merely being a member of parliament, you'll be able to influence the House Business Committee?
Do you know the functions of the member of parliament? Do you know how much power he has to influence the committee?
Oh, that's what they say on paper. And then they tell you once they go in there, which I'm basically preempting the conversation that you're going to have with us here in 2028.
Yes.
You see, in parliament, there's structures. This is what members of parliament, I'm sure, have also told you, that there are so many bills that are in the pipeline.
Yes.
That need to be discussed at the House Business Committee.
Yes.
And they are overtaken by other special interest bills.
They are overtaken by other
special interest bills. And the special interest comes from outside of parliament.
Executive. Right? The president.
Yes.
Now ask me why I would want to be close to the president.
So is it the president or inside parliament?
When you're inside parliament
and you're close to the president,
and maybe you push the agenda of the president. You're not anti, you are pro. Possibly he'll listen to you. Possibly. And then if you're really, really passionate about a thing, and if that particular issue is in his manifesto, he's going to do it. He's going to ask the majority leader to push, vile umesema overtaken, to push that bill to a bit, ikuje haraka. There are many ways to skin a cat.
So vile uliongelesha rais na Itumbi.
Yes.
Have they talked to Kimani Ichung'wah?
They will, hopefully. I hope so. If they don't, I'll be in parliament in 2027.
Okay, so if you're in parliament and you're talking to Kimani Ichung'wah as another member of parliament, as a backbencher, let's remind you that you'll be a backbencher.
I will be a backbencher.
Na ni Range Rover yako. Backbencher, right? And Kimani, if Kimani is, whoever is the leader of majority in the parliament, in that parliament, you will still have to convince this guy, and you'll still have to go to whoever is in State House to try and convince him to talk to this guy.
The majority leader. Yes, I will do it.
And what if you get frustrated, what will you come and tell us?
I'll come back to you.
And tell us what?
Tuongee hapa, because there are many ways I've said of skinning a cat. You can use public outcry. And now you see, the other bit is this. We have formed the Digital Content Creators Association of Kenya. So you can use the association also to advocate for it. Because right now, kitu hatuna ni mtupia kutusukumia. You get? Every place we go. Dennis Itumbi, for example, if maybe he was a member of parliament, maybe he would have pushed because he's the head of content creators. You get? Maybe you would have pushed. Maybe right now where he's incapacitated maybe to do what you're talking about in parliament. Right. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he can tell us. Maybe he's not able to really push in parliament. Maybe because he's not a member of parliament, or maybe he's not a political leader, elected leader, he's an appointed person of the president. Maybe he's not really, really able to push. Maybe when he talks to the president has other issues to do, Nyota, affordable housing, the things that he has put ahead of whatever he wants to accomplish. You get? Maybe he's not able to push it. Actually, I think if maybe he was a member of parliament, it would have been easier if he was interested. However,
maybe
I'm saying maybe.
It's a lot of speculation.
Speculation. But if you ask me, Jessy, I will try my best. I won't say I will do it. I will try my best because it's something I know. To Kitoboa, the content creators will be able to make more money than they're making right now. Usione watu wako wana floss magari, manyumba online, then you think that's the reality. Sometimes they are paid to do that. You get maybe a yard is paying you to sell the cars. You can't go there start, sitting on demios. Of course, they'll give you their best
unless
car.
that's what you're selling.
Yeah, unless that's what you're selling. So instead of that, they'll be able to do kuishi maisha ya ukweli. I thank God I've been, lucky enough to travel to different countries to see, and I've met other creatives from other countries. Bro, we are broke. We are broke creators. Si tuna mchezo sana. Can you imagine? Mimi mwenyewe ningekuwa US sahi, tungekuwa tunapigana na Kevin Hart. Tungekuwa rivals. Maybe ningekuwa naambia Steve Harvey, what are you talking about, man? Maybe tungekuwa tunazozana na hawa watu. You can imagine the amount of money these people are making. Trevor Noah left South Africa and went to US. Few years down the line is ako kwa list ya some of the richest comedians.
We're taking a short break. We are in studio with MC Jessy. He's an artist, a creative, but also politician. And he's saying he wants to use that opportunity to push for the rights for creatives to earn more. We'll come back and continue that conversation with him. It's coming up to 8:30.
What's up, nation? My name is Mariam Pico Ungwaro, Dagoretti North constituency, and I'm fixing the nation by just enjoying nature, bana. Simple as that.
And actually, very accurately, somebody has said Mariam is the new Jane from Tarzan. And she's saying, I'm very happy to say I'm not the only one who climbs trees. That is Mariam Bishar, who is obviously very much part of us on Fixing the Nation. But you can send us your WhatsApp Nation video, just like Mariam did. You can be as creative as her, or you can tell us what you're fixing, where you are, what you're thinking about as we also begin to head into an election period. What's happening around your constituency, your county. But start by telling us your name. We'd love to know your name, where you are, where you're from, and then send that to, the number should be on the screen, 07, it'll come up. And I've also tried to cram that number. But yeah, there we go. 07, I'm buffering. 07.
Even the system is buffering.
Yeah, 0769 590 762, 0769 590 762. Eric, don't laugh. Send it to us, put your phone on landscape, and send us that video. We'd love to hear from you. A bit of feedback as we continue our conversation with MC Jessy this morning. So Bima is saying, but why does Jessy really deserve entry into parliament if it's not about significant developments in his agenda? Lenny De Steve says, the president is your friend or bro, then ask him to push the bill via your friend or the majority leader. Even if you're there and they don't want it passed, you can guess what will happen, okay? Kenyans need to unshackle parliament from executive by choosing the right people in parliament. That's Jenga Njogu. He's saying, I don't know that MC Jessy is one of them. He'll come back and defend himself. Charles Dungo says, but Jessy also needs to tell us if he understands the constitution, because that understanding would mean that he's able to do what he needs to do. MC Jessy kwa parliament, I see Jui. That's Donald, where he's saying, itakuwa too show. A few more. Robert Ndegwa says KJ and Jalango are in the creative industry and very close to the president. Yet, the bill has not been passed. So what will Jessy do differently by being close to the president? And what if the president refuses? Timothy asks. Those are valid questions. I think that's what Eric was trying to allude to.
And Lenny De Steve is also adding, even Jaguar was in parliament. Well, he's not in parliament now, but then you, at jokes in reality, but just illusions. You know, this is what I was saying earlier. Do we, because we look at somebody and we see that they are in the creative space, so we completely remove the agency of them using their mind and their brain for anything productive out of it. So when you see Jessy, you don't see like he has anything beyond making you laugh, right? Yet he's just given us an example. He is a successful businessman. He's thought business, he's gone into business, he's succeeding in it. He has thought about this industry, he's seeing what this industry needs, and he thinks it could get better. And there are ideas that I have put those ideas down on paper, brought others creatives into it. We have all thought about what we need to do. It's not that creatives are only mnafanyanga tucheke juu hamna kitu mngine mnaweza fanya.
Exactly.
I think the society needs to sort of look at the creatives differently from how we do it, because this is what leads to that judgment and all. So we look at you and you're like,
These are joker. Ametufanyia comedy and TV, that's all he knows.
hata elewa budget.
And it's true, Eric, I agree with you. People look at us, like for example, every time I'm around town, I'm driving or I'm walking around, people still say hi to MC Jessy. People say hi to MC Jessy, the comedian, the person they've seen on TV for years, the person who makes people laugh. Sasa, me nitasaidia nini? If I'm funny, I'm funny. You get Mimi, I did not bring these gifts to myself. I found myself nikiongea watu wanacheka, nikakosa kazi Nairobi, nikaamua I can make this thing of making people laugh my business. Like that did not stop me from being just Pamudhomi. You get? So people say hi to MC Jessy when they see on TV, but they don't know beyond that there's a person inside that is a serious individual. People don't really know that some comedians have serious families they run, and it's not a joking matter there. They have families. It's not a joke. Not every day you walk kwa nyumba kwa bibi yako mnaanza kucheka. No. You have to be a husband. You have to be a dad to these kids.
I think the other reason why we also can't ignore the kind of influence comedians have. Otherwise, I don't think they would get into politics. You go there because you already essentially have a constituency. You have voters. You have a huge voting bloc. I think now it's how do we then turn that, because the followers become the voters.
Yes.
I think that's what happens. But they are not, I don't know whether they are voting based on issues or whether the comedians who become politicians don't turn their comedic timing into development agenda. And I think maybe that's something.
I get that. And of course, for the people that have gone into parliament before me, some of them have failed us, okay? But do not use that also to, you will be tempted to use that to paint the rest of us. But why don't you judge us as individuals? Mi sijaingia parliament ndio ni judge. In fact, si hata naweza amua siendi. What will you do? Nothing. But I'm offering myself. You know, people think that maybe kwenda parliament is all about yours, or maybe it's self-actualization, as I was saying, Eric. But there are some of us who are actually serious. There's some of us who are issue-based people. Because, so you want me to remain in comedy, like what maybe other people will tell you, sasa unaenda siasa. Sasa hii umeharibu. Si ungebaki tu hapa. So you want me to remain, nikuchekeshe, na you as a lawyer, no advance in your career. You're moving from law, maybe umeingia parliament, or maybe you've done something else. People advance. Nyinyi wenyewe hamkuwa kwa station moja, and I know you're going to be something else.
You know, hatuna shida ukiadvance in comedy.
Exactly. People don't have a problem with advancing just in comedy. But I feel like I have something else to offer.
To bring to the table.
Give me
one day
a chance.
One day we will unpack ungebaki too. That thing is very toxic. It's something that I think as Kenyans we need to unpack within ourselves, where we want somebody to remain where they are.
Where they are, exactly.
I think broadly, actually, it's Kenyans are afraid or don't like change. So change is not an easy thing.
Yes.
And because you're a very public embodiment of change when you do, they're like, why are you changing?
You're disrupting me.
You're disrupting how I know you. You're disrupting.
You know, Eric, people ask me, sasa unaenda parliament, nani atatuchekesha? So it's not about chenye naenda kufanya. It's about huyu mtu amebaki bila jokes zangu. Mpaka nawaambianga, there is a lot nimewekea kwa YouTube.
Go there and laugh.
Go there and laugh.
Do you think that also, when you get into parliament and we don't see you, so look at the others that we have, and now let's flip the coin, all right? So KJ, for example, is very, very active on the committee of ICT. You know, people who follow KJ would see, and those of us in the newsrooms will, because we report KJ on other things.
Yes.
But publicly, there's not often that you'll find KJ on a headline here advocating bring a bill or debating a bill on a serious issue like the finance bill and all. It's when he's talking about, that was AI generated photo.
Yes.
Okay? And that's what people will remember. Then they'll like, last time I saw him was at a public rally cracking a joke in a public rally. And then before that was at Ridiculous. So I just see the joker. I remember Jalango, I see Jalango on radio, Jalango in comedy, Jalango in this, Jalango, Rais Sema ini mbaya. I do not have an image of Jalango standing up to say, Mr. Speaker, I have a problem with this bill. I have a proposal that we amend this bill from this to the other based on A, B, C, D. Yeah. I don't have a vision of Jalango debating in Parliament. So when you tell me now also Jessy is going to Parliament, I'm like,
of course it is an impediment. It is a challenge.
He'll be the court jester.
Yes.
In the president events out there,
yes,
but never really taking the agenda to Parliament.
I agree, Eric, and that actually is a big problem for someone like me. I want to go there and do what I believe I can do. All members of Parliament are not the same. Even for us in the creative sector, we are not the same. Look at our show, Churchill Show, how we used to do it. One platform, same audience, different people on the same stage, and people are enjoying because we are not the same. Even there, we are not the same. Let them go. Wacha Eric Omondi aingie Langata. Wacha Jessy aingie South Imenti. Judges tukiwa pale. Wacha Jalango abaki. Wacha yabaki. Then look at us. Kama tutalemewa, si kuna power ya kututoa. Yes, just vote us out. But if you can paint us with the same brush, for now I understand because of what? My predecessors maybe have not been seen doing that. Balwacha niende basi, nifanye, then unijudge. Ukiona siko, nimakie. Nitoeni within the first term. Me sina problem. Yeah, if I will not deliver what I'm saying. And that is the politics we need to be doing. Because, for example, me sitaki kukaa on the sidelines, online nikitukanana. Me, I don't want to be a keyboard warrior. I don't want to remain there nikisema, wange, siwache niende ninge mimi, nitafanya. But nikae hapo nikitukanana, wewe kasongo. No. Let me join the bandwagon. If I believe I have the change that people need, let me go. I'm one of those soldiers when you're not kukaa kwa battlefront.
Okay.
Me sitaki kukaa behind.
How different is your approach from a few years ago to what it is now? Because you did a lot of work last time, right?
Yes.
You were campaigning a lot. We saw you doing a lot of on-ground activations.
Yes. Sasa kuna mistakes I did. I agree. There's some mistakes that I did in 2022. There's some things I didn't do right. So mimi nishavuka form 1. Sasa ni kama narudia mtihani ya form 1. So I'll correct. And the person that won against us, actually when I didn't get the ticket, the person who got the ticket, hakutoboa. Haku make it. The person mwenye alituosha alikuwa opposition. Na akatushinda sisi wote. And I learned a lot that time. I know, and right now I know what I'm doing. And I know the way, because I've gone through that route before. And I pray to God I succeed. If I don't, life continues. I didn't die because 2022 I didn't get. Life imeendelea. So there's life after politics. And that is what also other people that lose should also understand.
Away from Jano's question. What have you learned?
I can't tell you what I've learned. See, my opponent watazitumia wanitoe. Sai, wacha nijipange, my friend. Hapo najua nini nafanya. First of all, money was an issue. Money, kuna mali gas ilienda ikaanza kuisha. Towards the end, I didn't know that's when you need more. So I spent more before to fike ile stretch ya mwisho. So stretch ya mwisho ikani stretch.
Now you know about timing.
Now I know about timing. Okay, those are some of the things that I've learned. And
how important is it? I mean, what changes there? Like what is it that increases in intensity as you get closer to the election day?
It's
that
just
requires
like
much more resources and time.
It's just like running. So you may watch Usain Bolt akikimbia 100 meters. Let's take the relay. Ndio inakuanga na moto. Huyu anaanza, napatia huyu. Lakini pale mwisho ndio unashangilia. Huku katikati unaona tu anaenda. You're waiting for Usain Bolt akishika anaenda. So that last stretch, if unasikia stretch, it requires you to give your all because this thing is timed. It has an expiry date. So it's about tarehe 8. Nani atafika hapo wa kwanza? So that competition. But before then you feel like tarehe 8 iko mbali. Then you realize, oh, in 2 weeks time tuna vote. Oh my God, sijafika mahali fulani, sijaenda mahali fulani. I need to rush. So that rush requires you to maintain the pace. Watu wanakukumbuka bado. Are you maintaining them? Are you still meeting them? So meetings become more frequent. Intensity ya kumit watu ni zaidi. Kwenda door to door inakuwa more. So you find you're spending more money in running around. Actually, money in politics is spent on logistics and not on giving people. That is a fallacy. Oh, tuna bribe voters. No. Actually, your car moving around. The last stretch, it has to move every day. Now you cannot make it with one. Ile gari ya sound, you have like 3, 4.
Yep.
Hizo 4 zikiwashwa asubuhi zitazimwa jioni. How much fuel? Yeah. So that is a cost. Besides that, wengine wamengoa posta zako. Opponents, you need to replenish. Lazima ukae kwa macho ya watu na akili ya watu mpaka siku ya election. That is money. You have to print new ones, weke. Sijui umesikia kuna mkutano wapi. You have to make it because hauna time. It's the last mile. You have to do it. So that is where people spend a lot of money.
So it's grueling.
It is serious.
It's really a lot.
It requires a man with the agility to do it.
Does it matter who you align yourself with?
A lot.
How so?
A lot. Because if you look at the parliament, out of all those members of parliament, maybe 2% are people who are not aligned to any. So you cannot use 2% of parliament to say that that is how you can win an election. You can't say that you can win without money. Only like 2 or 3 members of parliament wameingia kibahati, kina Salasia. The rest, they've spent money. And you also can't say you need billions to win because they're not billionaires in parliament. So you need to get a balance. Ujue, this is what I need. When I go to my ushago, people don't look at me on yaka akana kitu. They see, tumekuwa tukimwona kwa TV for long. Akona pesa. Tumemuona sijui na president. Akona do. So alignment also requires you to be very much ready when you have to win. So that's why I know 2027 sidhani nitamiss. And the person that alitushinda either atoroke Senate or abaki. But the beauty is he's 84 years old. Na sisi young people hatumtaki. Yes.
Na nyinyi ndio wengi.
Si ndio wengi.
Why UDA?
Why
Because
UDA?
in the last election, you aligned yourself with UDA and you stuck with UDA in Mount Kenya.
Yes.
Why?
Nani kumoto. Yeah. Because real men don't go where things are easy. Just go where kuna moto. And why UDA is because is a familiar ground with me. It was easier. It is a place that, I can easily maneuver. Because those are people I was with. Na si hatukukosana. Even if I didn't get a ticket, hakukuwa na bail. I didn't get the ticket because of the president. No. Yetu ilikuwa siasa za mashinani.
Ilikuwa local.
Ilikuwa local politics. It had nothing to do with national politics. So it is a familiar ground for me. So I want to give it a shot. And whoever want to hear that is I want to give it a shot. And I pray I win. Yeah.
I was going to ask something around if tomorrow comedy disappeared and politics was your only identity, would you still feel inspired to lead? Or how important is your media, creative, comedic side to leadership? If it all disappeared and somehow the world was reset and politics was the only
It
option
was
left.
reset during COVID, so it is possible to reset again.
Okay. You have to be open to resetting.
You have to.
Would you though? What is your, because that's your identity.
Yeah.
And if in another world it was cancelled, would politics be enough to make you want to lead?
What I'll say, Janet, is there's no time you can't start. There's no time you cannot start. You went on a break from TV for long. Guess where you are now? You're back on TV. You started again. Jeff Koinange alitoka CNN. Akapotea years. Then he started again. From the bottom. Ko chini akaanza na kashoka naitwa Capital Talk. Saa hii watu wanaiongelelea. Eric Latif is here. Alipotea, alikuwa anasoma news. Then all of a sudden, boom, 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 radio, TV. You can start again anytime. So I'm a believer in that. If I don't succeed in this, I don't stop there. I will either try again or divert to something else, start, and it's just about the will. If you have the will to succeed, you will succeed. Mimi ati niende kwa hii politics ikose kuingiana. Erika tutakutana kwa street nikihustle, I'll try something else. I can even decide I'll go back on radio. I'll start. Nyinyi mko nitakuja niwaombe kazi. Nianze radio. Ama nikuja hapa NTV, my familiar ground also. Niambie can be doing comedy while standing here in the morning. Ama ni join show yenu, nikuwe the comedic part of commentary. Oh, there are so many things to do. There's so many things to do. So if comedy now disappears and it's politics imebaki, I'll still give it a shot.
Okay. Yeah. We'll sample some feedback in a bit, but a similar question. 20 years from now, we're looking at your legacy.
Yes.
Is your preferred legacy comedian, a citizen who tried to serve, a politician? What does Jessy's legacy, preferred legacy, sound like 20, 30 years from now?
If we did not elect some of the members of parliament that we liked, we would have never known their potential. If we never elected Babu Owino, bado tungefikiria ni gun wasonu. If we never elected Ndindinyoro, tungebaki kujua ni PA wa Kangata. If we never elected Kangata, tungedhani ni kansela huko. So, give people a chance so that they can show you what they want to be remembered with 20 years, 30 years from now. If you don't, you may never know. So even for Jessy, if I get a chance to be in parliament, I'll try my best to give my best up to my ability to my people in South Imenti. I know the problems that are there in South Imenti. Hata we discuss sana South Imenti here, what the problems are there. I know, I was born there. Then I came to Nairobi. And when I go back there, I see what I'm able to do. I ask myself, with all these networks that I have, the international travels that I've done, the things I know, sinaweza leta hizi vitu hapa kwa ground. That's what I convince myself. And I would like to be known. When I retire, Mr. Retire Nairobi, Karen, kuna baridi sana. Ningependa kukaa karibu na watu wangu. I'll retire in Meru, for sure. And I would like to be remembered as a world changer. I will try and make sure I do something. I don't want to be remembered as a useless comedian or a useless politician. I will do my best to try and be remembered as a credible leader in this country. If we never gave some of these people that have done tremendously well in our life,
we would never know.
Never know. If we didn't give Obama, atungeijua. Tungebaki kusema ule chotara. But we gave him a chance. Even Trump, bado atungebaki kudhani vile yako. But the illusion that you have about him, but you gave him a chance. So I believe everybody deserves to be listened to, so that to choose wala wazuri na wala
Charles Ndungu amesema watu wa South Imenti mmesikia kazi kwenu, but I don't know if I'm convinced. Robert,
tunaenda ground tutaipiga sana.
Okay, Kenyans want serious drastic change. That's what Robert Ndegwa is saying. He's saying atutaki games. Kama ako serious, this is Raphael Karange, atafute presidential seat. Even Ruto had his agenda, but Uhuru was his barrier. He decided to be president.
Kama change ni unataka. But I think there's somebody who's saying, explain to us your entry into parliament is one, yes, the people of Imenti North, where you come from, whose problems you want to go and represent in the House, but also the people of your new constituency, your fellow members in the creative industry space.
Yes.
And those who have not seen the opportunity, but they ought to see the opportunity.
Yes.
And you say that you have this specific proposal that you want to push. So people are saying, paint for us the picture of the current situation as it is, and what...
Your creative sector.
Yeah, the creative sector. What laws exist at present and what you want to bring, so that people can clearly see that this is actually the agenda that MC Jessy has. Because our tunasema huyu jamaa hana agenda really. Let's hear.
Huyo ni mtu wako mahali maybe hajainisikia vizuri. I've been in the media pushing the same agenda. For example, today we have, for the first time maybe when Ruto came in as president, he created the Ministry of Youth, Sports and the Creative Economy. Before kuna sijui alikuwa naita art, tuko huko na painters, tuko huko na models, every other person. So now ikaitwa the Ministry of Youth, Sports and the Creative Economy. All right? That is the ministry. When you go to those functions of those state departments, you'll find youth iko na structure yake yote full. Sports iko na, creative haina. In every structure ya government, we have like the CS, the PS, sawa tuko na CS. PS maybe to feel effect yake sana kwa creative industry. So I think we should even start from the PS, going to the
have
secretary,
a
state department, proper state department. We have a board, we have a council, we have a creative economy even fund, because every other ministry has a fund. We don't really have that, okay? And that can be enacted through a bill in parliament. Mkisha push, it can be done. Or if the president wants to do it, he can decide to create that state department. Na ikue basana sana, you can push it through parliament, ndio ikue sheria. Okay, the other one will be an executive order. Now, we as at the creative
sheria inazambia president create state department.
I know, but nasema, if he does not want to, you can lobby.
Okay.
That's what I mean. You can lobby. If you don't want to lobby, if he wants to do it, he still can do it.
Okay.
Today, anaweza amka na aseme, I want this department to be like this, like this. Like I was speaking to him in State House, nikimwambia, Your Excellency, this is the problem that we have in the creative sector. Akasema atafanya. So if he does it, maybe I wouldn't even need to go to parliament. But if he doesn't, I will still continue with my journey of pushing for this. So we don't have that. Ule anauliza sheria za creative. Honestly, we don't have. We don't have a structure in the creative sector. That's why everyone is everywhere trying to get money wherever they can. Ukikuja Sunday in town, Nairobi, utapata a lot of creatives wanna create content and all that. If you ask them how to make money, sahi tunarun a program with USIU, inaitwa Creative Master Classes. If these people don't attend to such classes, they may never know about the monetization of talent, how it works. My page is monetized on Facebook. There are wengi hawajui. Even in the creative sector, kuna wengi hawajui. We want to consolidate that and teach people how to make money online. And we want to push for more. Kama huyo mtu alikuwa ananisikiza, I was comparing how the creatives earn in the country versus other countries. If we're able to put these laws in order, we'll be able to get to where others are.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll leave it there. Jessy, MC Jessy. She said we keep the MC. Artist, politician, blending art and politics. But we also speak respectfully about sex workers, Jessy. Sirudia hiyo kitu.
Oh, sex work.
Prostitution, yeah.
Oh, my apologies.
Language.
Ni umeru.
In the next hour, we are going to be speaking to the head of broadcast of Nation Media Group, Simaloy Dajon. We're still marking World Radio Day. What is the future of radio? How do we safeguard it? How do we protect it? It's coming up to 9 a.m. We'll see you on the other side. Just look out for the new setup in just a moment.